If you would like to request a video, send an email to questions@newstitchaday.com. How to knit, placing a stitch marker. Special thanks to our sponsor Lion Brand for providing today's yarn. Today we are using their Vanna's Choice line in the color Aqua. Sometimes when you're knitting, you will need to use what's called a stitch marker, and it can look either like this or kind of like this. And the difference between these two stitch markers is this stitch marker is totally enclosed, so it doesn't have any openings, and this stitch marker has a little opening just like this that allows you to move it wherever you want. So this is called a removable stitch marker, and this is just a regular stitch marker. So how do we get these into our knitting? It's really not that difficult. Now, say you're in the middle of your row and your pattern says place marker. So they'll usually do this to mark where you need to do increases, or if you need to change where the beginning of your row is for some reason, they'll have you place a marker. Sometimes you'll want it at the beginning of your round if you're knitting in the round. So we'll take our stitch marker and put it onto the needle, okay, and then we'll slip the stitch marker off to our other needle, and then you'll just continue knitting as normal, and what will happen is that it will become a part of the knitting. Okay, so the stitch marker, you can see, is now actually in the knitting. So when you come up to the stitch marker on the other side of your row, you're just going to slip it onto the needle and pass it over, and then keep knitting. And so that way your stitch marker will always be traveling up your knitting with you. Now the advantage of a removable stitch marker is that you can take that little opening and then you can put it wherever you want. And that's how you use a stitch marker. Want more New Stitch a Day? Check out our website at newstitchaday.com. New Stitch a Day is a Craftery Media production. Check out our other shows at fiberstory.tv and yarntripper.com. This video is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution No Derivatives 3.0 unported license, which means use it on your website, put it in your patterns, but please don't change anything.